right, now we're going to do Good Rockin' Riff. In Book 2 of Beginning Rock Guitar, I'm just going to go ahead and play it, and then we'll talk about it, and there's a lot to talk about on this one. So I'll count it off, and you can try it with me. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay, I'm smiling because this is probably at least the 5th time that I've tried to do this riff perfectly. And it came out pretty good this time. So now we're doing some familiar chords. And the first chord is that E7. It's like a regular E chord with the pinky added. And now in the tablature, I've got on the offbeats where you're hitting the chords, I've got the first string open. I would just mute that. Just let your pinky lean on it, and don't worry about hearing that open first string. Just leave it out, cross it out, and focus on the pinky. It's almost like a horn part, like bop, bop, and then sustain, ba da, bop, bop, ba da. And that's the way you want to think about it. And the other thing is you're muting the 6th string open in the first measure. In the second measure, you're not. You're playing it just with no mute. But put the heel of your hand near the bass. Okay? And that's a technique that a lot of rockabilly guys use. Even Chet Atkins and people like that would often mute the bass notes in their playing. And then when you hit the chords, don't include the 6th string. So it's sort of like, but you don't want to hear constant 6th string. So you want to look at the tablature, except for cutting off or crossing out that open first string. You want to read the tablature verbatim and just play exactly what you see in the tab. So you're hitting the 6th string open, and then from the 5th string to the 2nd string, and I'm cutting off these chords. And how am I doing it? It's with the left hand. I'm relaxing the pressure. So if you play a chord and then relax the pressure, and you can still hear a little overring, but that's not going to be a big deal. But you really want to have a short, that pinky note. And okay, so and you just relax it immediately, but don't take the fingers off of the strings. And now when you go to the next measure, you're going to hold the pinky, which becomes the suspended note in A sus. And it's sort of like a clamped A with the 2nd finger squarely on the 2nd string, and then the 1st finger clamped. We've done that before, but your pinky, it's almost like we've done that with an A7 where you had the pinky, and we'll do that in this one too later on, but here the pinky's on the 2nd string. Now this one you want to hit 5 strings, 3 strings, 3 strings, 5 strings. And when you do these 3 notes, it's watch the picking. It's down, down, up, So the second measure, again, I'll do it a little faster. It's like pinky on the 3rd fret. Sorry. Okay, so the two measures are kind of contrasting. You're kind of subdued in the first measure, and then opened up, louder and no mute, and you want to hear this pinky sustaining until you hit the 2nd fret. So you hear that horn part is kind of pop, pop, ba-dum. Okay? And then when you get to the end of the 2nd line, you'll have 4 measures of riff. And right before that, you have 3 notes, 0, 3, 4, and that's down, down, up. And then you have, I'll count the rhythm. It's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 so you have these offbeat syncopated notes, and you want to try to incorporate some down and up picking. If you really get messed up with that, you could just do all downstrokes, but I would recommend, doing some down and up, and it'll make it flow a lot better when you use a few strategic upstrokes. And so, like at the end of the 2nd measure, when you're going 0, 3, 4, that's down, down, up. When you get to the 2nd line, 3rd measure, it's on the 6th string. The riff is longer. And I would start with 2 downstrokes. So it's going down, 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 up. Really 3 downstrokes. Down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up. So I'm doing 3 upstrokes in a row at one point where it starts getting offbeat. So it's down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up. And then you do 3 upstrokes in a row, and then pretty soon after that you do 2 upstrokes in a row. And so make note of the picking that I'm talking about here, because it's not on the page. I neglected to put the down and up strokes on the page there. But then after you do the 2nd part of the riff, it's down, 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 up, down, up, and then you have these chords. Now these chords, you're fingering it, the first chord, you have to kind of jump up here, and it's 3rd and 2nd finger, and then 3rd and 1st finger, and then just 1st finger and open string. Now that's a tricky one for the right hand, because it's real tempting to hit, it's real easy to hit an extra string, but you want to be gentle and just try to hit 2 strings. You could do a rest stroke, but I wouldn't worry about that with the stroke. But these are called harmony in thirds. See, like the first part of the riff, it's harmonizing this in thirds. It's sort of like another singer comes in and harmonizes the basic notes. And that's kind of cool. You know, we're doing almost like vocal harmony with our guitars. And then everything moves across the street where you see the repeat sign. And I didn't do those repeats. But so when you move it across the street, you're doing A7 now with the pinky on the first string. And you're muting the bass again. And hitting those chords short by relaxing the pressure of the chord. And then hold the pinky into D sus, and you're not muting on this measure, just like in the beginning. Sorry. And you want want to hear da, da. So you hear bop, bop, ba, da. Sounds like a horn section. And that's down, down, up. Third time. Down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, up, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. And then thirds. Now they're moved across the street. And then you're back to the last chord. You can hit all 6 strings, and you can slow down a little bit at the end. So I think I've talked about most of the details, but you really have to look at the details. And if you see, you know, like on the second measure at the top of the page, you're hitting 5 strings, 3 strings, 3 strings, 5 strings. Try to do exactly that. It, you know, in reality, it doesn't have to be perfect, and I wasn't playing it perfectly every time, but you want to go for that. You want to go for perfection, even though we often fall short, right? So we fall short of perfection because we're not gods, right? We're normal people playing in musical instruments. I don't want to get too philosophical there, but this is kind of a cool riff. It, you know, it kind of reminds me of a Beatles song, but I can't think of the, you know, maybe I could research. I haven't scoured the Beatles songs, but okay. So have fun with this. If you have any other questions, please shoot them off in the comments. And please like this video and subscribe if you have not. And also go to Facebook and like my Facebook page, John Hedger Guitar Studio. Thank you so much.